The only problem that we're looking at in this section is problem number 2. We're given 3x squared minus 75 equals 0. Now, before I move on and actually solve this equation, what you want to know is that the standard form of a quadratic equation is ax squared plus bx plus c equals 0. So you can see that for a standard form equation, we've got 3 terms and the greatest exponent is 2. Now, if you ever come up against something like this where you've got 3 terms, then you're going to need to know how to factor it, which we're going to cover in future lessons. But notice that in this particular problem, we don't have this middle term here. We don't have that bx. So what we're going to do here, since we don't have the bx, anytime that you have a setup that looks like this, you can just isolate the variable. So what you want to do here is, again, if we're going to isolate the variable, work your opposite the order of operations, or work backwards with the order of operations. So we're going to work the addition and subtraction first and add 75 to both sides. When we do that, we're going to be left with 3x squared equals 75. So we got to remove this 3, so divide out the 3, and then you're left with x squared equals 25. Now, one of the things that you need to know is that in order to get rid of this x squared, we've got to take the square root. So if we take the square root inside of an equation, so we've got an equal sign. Whenever we take the square root inside of an equation, we're always going to come up with 2 solutions. One is going to be positive and one is going to be negative. So then we take the square root of x squared and we get x. We take the square root of 25 and we get 5. So we actually have 2 solutions to this problem. X is equal to both positive 5 and to negative 5. To show you that both of them are in fact solutions, we take them and we put them back into the original equation. So take positive 5 and plug it in for x. 5 squared is 25, times 3 is 75, minus 75 is 0. So 0 equals 0, so we get a true statement there. Then if we take negative 5 and put it in for x, negative 5 squared is going to give us 25. 25 times 3 is 75. Subtract 75 and you're left with 0, and 0 does in fact equal 0. So we know that both positive 5 and negative 5 are going to be solutions to this problem.